So today on the floor of the House of Representatives, 7 lawmakers from Akwa Ibom have defected to the APC. It's one of the biggest um, achievement, I would say, for the APC, one of the biggest attraction of such a large number of people into their fold in the last 2 years. So 7 legislators, those that were elected on the platform of the PDP, 6 of them, they've left today, and one was elected on the platform of YPP. He has also left today. So this is Oyemidem's PDP. He has left. This is Imeokon PDP. He has left. This is Polekbo PDP. He has left. This is Opolobomete PDP. He has left. This is Martin Zessen PDP. He has left. And this is Udwa Odudo. He has also left. 6 of them have left. They've abandoned the PDP and have declared allegiance for the APC, and SEM has been officially announced on the floor of the National Assembly today by the Speaker of the House of Representatives, right, Honorable Tajuddin Abbas. So it's official. It's no more something that is discussed in hushed tones. It's official. They've defected from the PDP to the APC. The last but not the least is Emmanuel Ukpongudo of the YPP, Mackay. Everybody knows him as Mackay. Some call him the grandfather because he's the grandfather of politics in his area. He locks it down when it matters. Okay, so he has left the YPP to the APC today. Right. The question now is, what says the law when people defect before the end of the tenure for which they were elected? What's the position of the law? Or is the law silent? Has the law not said anything? Let's look at it together. This is the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999 Constitution, Federal Republic of Nigeria. What does it say? Come to section 68. It says, a member of the Senate or of the House of Representatives shall vacate his seat in the House of which he is a member if he becomes a member of another legislative house. If a member of the House of Representatives should contest election and become a senator, he loses that seat and goes to the Senate. That's simple. Sub G, if being a person whose election to the House, note this one, was sponsored by a political party, he becomes a member of another political party before the expiration of the period for which that house was elected, right? So the question is, what's the period for which the current House of Representatives was elected? 4 years. We all agree on that. How many years is this? 2 years. So they have not stayed for the period for which they were elected. So what does the Constitution say in that situation? It says, a member of the Senate or of the House of Representatives shall vacate his seat in the House of which he is a member if, sub G, being a person whose election to the House was sponsored by a political party, he becomes a member of another political party before the expiration of the period for which the House was elected. This is the language of the Constitution, shall vacate his seat, right? So, the legal implication of this section of the Constitution is that by operation of law, the 7 gentlemen from Akwa Ibom that have voluntarily left, because nobody has forced them to leave, they have voluntarily left the political party, the platform upon which they were elected. They have embraced another political party. They've made it public today. That means by operation of law, particularly section 68, sub 1, sub G of the Constitution, they have lost their seats. Why? Because the Constitution again says, a member of the Senate or of the House of Representatives shall vacate his seat. It's mandatory for you. You have defected voluntarily. So you pack your bags as you are defecting and then you leave the National Assembly. Why? Because the Constitution has said so. That's the provision of the Constitution. That's the consequence of defection. Now, note that there are exceptions. What I have said is the general position of the law. To every general rule, there are exceptions. So there are exceptions here, two basic exceptions. And those exceptions are found in section 68, sub 1, sub G of the Constitution. You go to the proviso. Proviso simply means additional provision, okay, an addendum. So the additional provision to this section says that you shall not defect your seats. You shall not leave your seats. If there is a merger between the political party that you stood on for election and another political party, to the extent that your political party has lost its original identity, if that happens, like what happened between three political parties coming together to form the APC, if any member of the legislature was affected by that merger, that legislator is not going to face the consequence of losing his seat because the law recognizes the fact of merger. The second exception is if there is division in your political party, right? That division must be at the national, not at the state level, not at the ward level, not at the south or whatever regional level. It must be at the national. And it has been interpreted by the Supreme Court to say that that division must be extreme fragmentation of the political party. Extreme fragmentation of the political party to the extent that the party can no more function as a corporate soul. It's so fragmented, it's so divided that it can no more function as a political party in the eyes of the law as a corporate soul. Okay? Can you say that the PDP is that fragmented in pieces that it is no more existing as a corporate soul? Can anybody rightly say that? Well, that's an argument that is left to be made by the defectors. Now, I have said that the fragmentation must not be regional or state or at the ward level. It must be at the national. It must affect the corporate soul of the political party. Anything outside that, you don't fall into the exceptions provided by the Constitution. What is the legal status of the defectors right now? Here is the answer. Their seats have become vacant by operation of law. All of them. Their seats have become vacant by operation of law. So what the implication? That means they should honorably leave the National Assembly forthwith. This has been decided by a number of cases up to the Supreme Court. Okay? Abegunde versus Ondo State House of Assembly and many other cases. You leave honorably because you have defected voluntarily. So they're expected to leave their seats in the National Assembly, just pack their things, and then move. INEC should announce new dates for by-election to fill in the vacant seats that have existed by operation of law at the National Assembly from Akwa Ibom State. INEC should conduct election to fill in the vacant seats. Can the people from their constituencies go to court in the event that they still refuse to obey the Constitution the way it should be obeyed? Can anybody go to court? The answer is yes. Any registered member of the PDP and of the YPP in the affected constituencies has the legal right to go to the court to challenge this defection and ask for three basic things. One, that payment of salaries and allowances should be stopped forthwith. Why? Because they have defected and they have lost their seats. Two, that they should be precluded from entering the premises of the National Assembly. Three, that INEC should be mandated to conduct by-election to occupy the 7 vacant seats that have existed in the National Assembly affecting Akwa Ibom. So, defection is a voluntary thing, and I always hope that when legislators are defecting, they understand the consequences of their action, the legal consequences of their action, and this is the position of the law. Law is something that has to be respected. After all, these are lawmakers, and so, obeying the Constitution shouldn't be a big problem for them. But note that If you take them to court, they have a right to defend themselves and defend their defection in the courts. Now, their defense should be narrowed into only two factors, just two situations. One, and those are the situations provided in the proviso in section 68. One, if they show that there is division in the PDP and YPP at the national, serious fragmentation affecting the corporate soul of their parties, that's a good defense for them. Two, merger. If they show that PDP has merged with the APC or YPP has merged with the APC, all these two parties have come together to make the APC bigger, they must show evidence of that merger, and the evidence is usually the certificate of merger that is usually given by INEC. So if they show that to the court, they have no problem. But note that defenses like taking your state to the center will not avail any member of the legislature, any of the 7 gentlemen that have been taken to the court. It defends that, oh, I want to join my governor in taking my state to the center is not an excuse tenable in a court of law. Your excuse must be anchored within these two in section 68, sub 1, sub G, proviso of the Constitution. Anything outside that, honestly, you have a serious issue to answer in the law. The days ahead will be very revealing about what will be the fate, the actual fate of these 7 gentlemen that have defected from the political parties that gave them the standing to go to the National Assembly and have moved to another political party. The days ahead will be very revealing. Many thanks for watching. Do remember to share and subscribe to the page and the channel. Many thanks once again.